So what makes Chris Hoy stand out? Well, first, he loves the adrenaline and excitement of the race days. But as Aristotle said, excellence is an art won by training and habituation. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is not an act, but a habit. Chris has made daily training his habit. On his first day at primary school, he asked how to join the chess club. And such a calculating mind enjoys setting audacious targets and taking pride in analysing the precise route to victory, each time squeezing out an extra 0.5%. Second, Chris possesses a psychological toughness forged by turning defeat into victory. For instance, between 2001 and 2006, Chris was the king of the kilometre, the supreme master of a timed event, unbeatable, holding the UK, the world, and the Olympic records. Perhaps only Ben Ainsley in sailing, Tiger Woods in golf, Roger Federer in tennis, Michael Phelps in swimming, and Michael Johnson in 400 and possibly 200 metres come as close to craft dominance in the modern era. So imagine Chris's frustration when, in 2006, the ICU deleted the kilo from the Beijing Olympics. Chris had to move cleverly from being a gold medal favourite to becoming a novice who had to get access to the games ab initio. Frustration turned rapidly to reinvention as he harnessed his speed and endurance and unleashed them on the McKiernan, a world and Olympic event where cyclists follow a motorcyclist around the track for several laps and then break free. But there were already established champions in Theo Bos, Theo Mulder, and Britain's own Jamie Staff. But this novice learned the race pretty quickly. He revolutionized the tactics winning the race and proceeded to succeed in 30 races in a row, including the World, Olympic, and several World Cup medals inside 2 years. Finally, he loved to smash records. In 2007, this passion took him to the Alto Iparva Velodrome in La Paz, which is 3,408 meters above sea level, about a third the size of Everest. He was warned by medical specialists that racing at this altitude could be a serious risk to his health. As a sleep nurse in Edinburgh, his mum knew that, with the air containing about 33% of the oxygen at sea level, deprivation could lead to imminent death, especially for someone who'd flown in the night before and not given himself time to acclimatise. But Chris was determined to break the only sub-minute kilo ever ridden in history, that set by his great rival, Arnaud Tournon, of 58.875 seconds. This is a record of Bob Beamon proportions. Your parents will explain that to you later. Or the Chancellor may even so. It's probably the greatest feat in cycling history. In Chris's first run at that record, he missed the mark by 23/1000ths of a second. When he mispaced the effort and ran out of oxygen in the high altitude air, when he was already up on Tournon's time. Now, warned about the medical consequences of making a further attempt, he took advice from his dad and, invoking the spirit of Scots cycling genius Graham Mowbray, he hurled himself at the record the next day, missing the mark by just 0.005 of 1 second. Over a kilometre, that's 2.3 centimetres. Aching and distraught, Chris slumped to the grass and lay in severe discomfort from exhaustion and oxygen starvation. The medical team rushed to his aid, his mother holding his head upright. He recovered, though the defeat added deep psychological pain to the intense physical one. A few hours later, and in typical style, he leapt back on his bike and obliterated Arnaud Double's world flying 500-metre record by over a second. Chris, I can't imagine that that time will ever be beaten. So besides planning, motivation, stoical responses to crisis, and the setting of these audacious targets, these stories are wrapped in a deep family support from mum, dad, sister Carrie, who's also a graduate of St Andrews, and fiancée Sarah, which have produced an epic champion with true leadership quality, an inspiration to all our graduates here today. As UK Cycling Performance Director Dave Brailsford has said, Chris is the leader of the pack, the wolf that everybody instinctively looks to for reassurance when something strange or threatening happens. If he is happy and unconcerned, so are they. Chris, Sport at St Andrews wishes you a strong recovery from the current hip degloving injury you've experienced in Copenhagen this year, and extends its good wishes to you and your family for health, vitality and success in the future. Chancellor, in recognition of his major contribution to the sport of cycling, I invite you to confer the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa.
Te ad gradum doctoris scientiae honoris causa promovio, cuius rei in symbolum, super te hoc viretum impono. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, fellow graduates. This is a fantastic day for me. It's a huge honour to be here. And thank you also to the choir for that fantastic rendition. I don't know if any of you there picked up on some subliminal lyrics in there, but it's just a very special day for me today. And almost 14 years ago, I walked away from St Andrews, and I never thought I'd see this day. To come back to graduate here is something that I never thought would happen. And to leave St Andrews midway through my second year was probably one of the toughest decisions of my life. And at the time, I had a fantastic social group. I had, a wonderful time here in the town. But it was a choice which was made purely for my sporting ambitions. And I knew that if I was going to try and make a go of my cycling, I would have to move back to the velodrome, back to my teammates, away from the place I loved, and it was a very difficult thing to do. And at the time, a lot of people thought I was crazy, and my friends were saying, are you sure you've made the right decision? Are you sure you want to do this? And I suppose it was just following a dream, and it was something that at the time, it wasn't certain. There was no certainty in what I was doing. It wasn't as though I was guaranteed to become successful. I wasn't even on the British team at the time. But I just wanted to try and see how far I could go, and there wasn't really the support or the kind of pathways, the clear pathways that there are now to try and develop your talent and to make it to the top. And it was a bit of a gamble, really, but I suppose what I've learned is that if you follow your dream and if you really pursue it and don't give up and work hard and stay determined, then you can achieve amazing things. And listening to the fantastic laureation from Professor McKiernan there, which was amazing, you have to pinch yourself sometimes when you hear these amazing things right out to you. And in 14 years, pretty much, that's that period of time in which it's happened. And for you today, this is about you guys. It's not about me today. This is about you. This is about your celebration. It's about all your achievements. But this is the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. And the rest of your life, it lies in front of you, and you can go on to do whatever you want to do. You have the tools now. You're equipped to do whatever it is that you want to do. And no matter how crazy the dream is, don't let people put you down or make you think that it's not possible, because it is. And if you work hard enough, then anything is possible. And I'd just like to thank you all for making this a very special day for me. And I hope you enjoy your celebrations, and good luck in the future with whatever it is you choose to do. Thank you.